Hi, my name is Teresa, and I'm a part of a community group at Sparks Christian Fellowship.
Hello, my name is Vicky Arredondo, and I'm the Faith Liaison at Dilworth Middle School.
Hello, my name is Joel Picciotto. I'm the proud principal of Dilworth Middle School.
In 2012, I volunteered for Big Brothers Big Sisters, and the little girl that I was big sister to was Charisma, and she had just started at Dilworth, and that's how I got involved with the Dilworth project.
I'm proud to say that we boast a high level of community engagement and partnership. My vision coming into the school 3 years ago was definitely to make sure that we are supporting our community, our direct community, with its needs. And so once I got here, I kind of wanted to feel out what the community's needs are, and I noticed that they were very vast, from financial resources, maybe some physical resources like clothing and materials for students. So luckily I was fortunate enough to have a very strong faith liaison with Vicky, and she and I started working very closely together to start building these partnerships. It just so happened that during that time, Teresa from the Women's Bible Study at Sparks Christian Fellowship reached out to Vicky, and we were able to form a very strong partnership where we quickly realized that we could work together to serve the needs of our shared families from the church and the school, to really boost what this community needed. So even before the pandemic, we were working really hard to make sure that we were getting resources like working with the food bank, getting financial donations and resources, or even sharing names and information with our two institutions to identify the families and what they needed to be more successful with academics and social.
As all of us know, last year was very difficult with the COVID situation, and is when we have the great opportunity to work even more close with the Sparks Christian Fellowship. The ladies in the church, they were go above and beyond, helping us with gift cards for the families in need. We will be able to support a lot of families that were passing through a very hard situation. Burning house, losing jobs, losing house, losing everything that they have in their hands. But with the generosity of the Sparks Christian Fellowship, we will be able to support these families and support our students.
Our teachers have always been great at being able to pivot and provide the resources and opportunities for our families. Historically, of course, they're trained in colleges to focus a lot on their content, like math and science, for example. But all teachers go through a very rigorous program at universities to learn more about the social and emotional aspects of teaching, like classroom management, backgrounds, family engagement, and things like that. Little did we know that those teachers really would have had to put that into practice starting in the pandemic. And so when school shut down in March 2020 and students were forced to learn from home with packets, and teachers were really learning to adapt with this in order to teach them, the students effectively, we really found ourselves being able to contact families and students like we never had before. We relied on any various means to reach out to families and make sure that we were staying connected, really for that social and emotional aspect. Through using social media, text messages, emails, phone conversations, our teachers really worked hard to work with our school district to find different ways to reach out to families, to make sure that we stayed connected through the rest of that school year, the summer, and this school year.
God has moved through this partnership in so many ways. It started when we were able to bring Charisma and her siblings to SCF, and they fell in love with it and got involved with the children's ministry and everything. And then when I came over to Dilworth to introduce myself and see what we could do, I had the awesome opportunity to meet Vicky, and we just clicked immediately. And it was just so, and then Joel, and it's just been an awesome opportunity, and to see the joy that we have brought to Dilworth through God and how He has moved and how generous the ladies have been. And it's just, I really feel like lives have changed.
You know, what's really great about the pandemic, if anything, outside of the creativity that we've seen from our students and our teachers, is just the way that God has worked through us and through this community. I've always said that this community is really strong and really tight-knit, more than any other community that I'm either personally involved in by living in a separate community or working in. But what I've really seen in this partnerships with Sparks Christian Fellowship is that strong sense of community and the way that God works. I think it's very clear to say and easy to say that the way that we've seen God working is through the way that He works through Jesus Christ, and that is through grace and compassion, love, and caring for each other's neighbors specifically, and almost very literally, your neighbor. So in that, I want to say thank you to the Sparks Christian Fellowship community, not only for the donations and the time and the gifts and resources and helping out the community, but through everything that you're doing, for the prayers for our students, our families, and our community. As always, we ask that you'll continue to pray for our families and community, because we know that together and collectively, God and Jesus are there when we have that common thought and thread. So thank you so much for what you're doing. We look forward to continuing to partner with Sparks Christian Fellowship for our families, students, and our shared community.